What's good, Toiletarians? It's your master, Toilet Terry here. To start off this video, I would like to introduce myself to y'all. My real name, not Toilet Terry. My real name is John Terry, and in case y'all haven't picked it up by now, the reason my YouTube channel's name is Toilet Terry is because a toilet is also called a John, and my name's John Terry, so replace John with toilet, you got Toilet Terry. There you go. And the best part is, that's not even the best part. The best part is if you subscribe, if you click that subscribe button today, you immediately become a Toiletarian for the rest of your life. Unless you unsubscribe, but who would want to do that? How great is that? I'm gonna tell y'all a little something about myself that y'all probably never even knew. When I was at age 4, I was diagnosed with something called Asperger's syndrome. Now, that's something you don't really hear about much. When I was little, I didn't really think much of it because I was so young and naive. I didn't really care how different it made me from most other kids my age. But then once I got older, I started to question myself as to why can't the curveballs that life throws at me be more typical, like with most other people my age? Now, not only did it make me different from others, but when I was in elementary school, it made me the weirdest kid in school. Did I care a bit? No. I was so young and so naive back then that I did not care what a fool I made out of myself in front of my teachers and in front of my peers. I struggled so much in class when I was in elementary school. I remember I would have a teacher and a parapro. The parapro would always have to work one-on-one with me because I struggled. And sometimes the teacher even would too, but it is true. I did struggle. The teacher would ask me a question during class, like, for example, "Hey Johnny, what's 5 times 3? My name is just John, for like the 5th time, it's not Johnny. I don't care, I asked you a question. What's 5 times 3? And, I didn't know. Cause, I struggled, right? So then I'd be like, 53? Okay, now let's try and get an answer from someone who's actually listening. Alright, Johnny, I've had it. You're going to the principal's office. I arrive at the principal's office, right? The principal thought I was the best student in school. I was his favorite. "Oh, hey, John Terry, how's my favorite student today?" he said. And I was like, "Well, I got in trouble. That's why I was sent here." And he was like, "You got in trouble? I don't believe you. Tell me what happened." I tell him what happened. I'm like, "I didn't answer a question right, so my teacher sent me to the principal's office." He then looked at me, and he was like, "Okay, that's stupid. You're not in trouble. Get your butt back to class." And as most of y'all out there watching know, the #1 rule in school is never talk while the teacher is talking. So, yeah, she told the principal he was talking while I was talking, and he and a few other students were snickering about something that was apparently funny. I don't know what it was. And then she looks at me, and she says, "Mr. Terry, dare I ask what you and your friends were laughing at?" And then I was just like, "Oh, no. I need to come up with something. If I tell her the truth, I'm either getting smacked across the face, kicked out of school, or even worse. Oh, no. No. I don't want community service." My little puny brain couldn't come up with nothing. So I had to tell her the truth. I told her, "Yeah, we were snickering because your zipper was down." Yeah. But then she looks down and she's like, "It is?" Literally, right after she looked down at her crotch, she was like, "My zipper's not down." You know what? I'm sick of your lies, you little butt sack of a student. Here's a note. You take it home to your mother, right now. Okay? You make sure she gets it. Do not throw it away. Do not. Don't you dare. Seriously. I think that she came up with a strategy just to get me to start listening in class so that she wouldn't have to tutor me after school every day and she would just get to go home. I think personally that she lied about not knowing that her zipper was down to make it look like I lied and then to get me in trouble. And so that if I got in trouble, I would actually start listening in class and then she wouldn't have to tutor me and then she could just go home and, do her. And by get to go home instead of having to stay after and tutor me, going home, sitting on the couch in nothing but your undies and watching the depressing news to the point where you're just sitting there crying your eyes out. Knowing that the teacher was probably going to email my mother making sure she got the note, there was no chance of me throwing it away and my mother never finding out that I got in trouble at school. So I get home, I give the note to my mother. I didn't read what it said from my teacher. It must have been really bad because here's what happened. She looks at it. She starts shaking her head. Son, you come here right now. Now, I'm expecting her to do something terrible to me, like whoop me or something. But no, she just gives me a hug, and she's like, son, you know I love you, right? And I'm like, uh-huh. I'm gonna demonstrate here what she did next for y'all, okay? So, we're hugging, right? And when I least expect it, she takes her right hand, and she reaches down as fast as she can. What I'm showing you now, it wasn't near this slow. It was quick. Down towards my butt, right? Pop! Alright, there, son. That was your spanking. That was your punishment. You're free to go now. Yeah. So, apparently the note must have been really bad because, you know. Yeah, with that said, I guess you could say that in school, I was the class clown, right? And I didn't even know it because of how young, stupid, and naive I was. Well, maybe I shouldn't use the word stupid. At least I didn't say retarded. That would have been worse. I remember having a fart in class once when I was in 2nd grade, right? So, yeah, I mean, even though it came out silent, did that mean I got away with it? But was I embarrassed about it? No, I did not care a bit. Apparently, yeah, the teacher hated when students farted or belched in class. She was like, okay, which one of you students did that? Tell me, you need to fess up. You need to fess up right now! Boy, I didn't care a bit. I was like Jim Carrey in Liar Liar. I just raised my hand and I was like, it was me! And she was like, I mean, she must have known that I didn't care and that I wasn't embarrassed because she then carelessly was like, oh my gosh, Mr. Terry. You've stuck up the whole room. How dare you? And then she goes to the closet and she pulls out the spray bottle of Febreze and starts spraying the whole room like, psst. Oh my gosh. Psst. Spray the whole room. Psst. Yeah, so she even then, right in front of the whole class, started opening, like, she opened the door and started fanning it out. Oh my gosh, get out in the hallway. I didn't get in trouble that time, but I did get a warning because apparently my teacher did not like it at all. She thought it was disrespectful to make bodily noises. I'd belch and she'd be like, excuse you! There's the door, get out. Make sure it doesn't hit you in the butt on the way out. Goodbye. I remember my first ever time belching in class. My teacher looked at me, she was like, Mr. Terry, what do you say? My brain processed things differently, so I took that as a trick question. I was like, trying to guess what to say. I mean, any normal student would have been like, excuse me, but no, I was just sitting there trying to guess the right thing to say. She was like, oh, come on, you should know this by now. You must have terrible parents. And then, you know, I'm just sitting there trying to guess, and I'm like, believe it or not, my first guess was, oops. And she was like, no, try again. And I was like, I don't know. I tell you, all the time in elementary school, I said, I don't know. I must have said, I don't know, about 100,000 times when I was in elementary school because of how much I struggled up here. My teachers got to the point where they were like, oh my gosh, Mr. Terry, why does every answer of yours have to be, I don't know? Just answer a question right for once, would you? But I mean, it's true, I did process things differently. I mean, I would even be trying to, you know, listen and pay attention in class, and I still struggled. And, you know, even at times when it seemed like I didn't care, I really did, you know? Even though I was so young back then, and probably too young to care, you know? Even at times when I did care, when I get older, it would seem like I didn't because of how much I struggled and how much, you know, of a hard time I had processing things. Not only would it seem like I didn't care in class, you know, when I used to take things so literal that I wouldn't know what the proper way to respond to certain situations would be, right? So when I would respond the right way, or what I thought was the right way up here, people would take it as mean and sarcastic, even though I struggled. I'll give you an example, alright? I remember one time at recess, right? I accidentally hurt another kid on the slide. I didn't know he was sleeping at the bottom of the slide, so I just went down and I rammed right into him. He started crying, and before we knew it, we were both in the principal's office, and both our mothers were there, right? And so my mother told me to say to his mother, well, she looked at me and said, say you're sorry. I took that literal. I looked at her and I was like, "You're sorry." She thought I was being mean and sarcastic, but seriously, like, I took everything so literal. You know, all I had to say was, "I'm sorry. Will you forgive me?" But then, no, instead it was, "You're sorry." Yeah, I know that's not funny, but it even makes me laugh. His mother thought I was being mean and sarcastic to her little boy. Poor kid. And I didn't know any better. I really didn't. I even used to take things so literal that, oh my gosh, I remember this one time, my mother would make a chart for me of things you need to do today. And one of them was brush your teeth, and in the picture was a kid brushing his teeth, a cartoon of a kid brushing his teeth, and he had a green shirt on. For the next number of months, I would not brush my teeth at all during the day, unless I had a green shirt on. I don't anymore, but, I mean, the older I got, the less literal I took things. When I was like 3 or 4 years old and already speaking in full sentences because I'm above average intelligence, you know, I would say the most ridiculous things. And my parents would be like, "What are you talking about?" Like, I'll give you an example. So, my dad would always sing a song to my sister when she was a baby. And I was a toddler at the time. Every night before she went to bed, he would sing a song called "There Goes My Life," right? And so, I would sing it for y'all, but I don't have a good singing voice, so for those of y'all who know it, you know what I'm talking about. So anyway, yeah, I thought by my life, he was referring to her, right? And in reality, he was, but the way my brain processed it was different. You know, we're all in the kitchen one time. My parents aren't really paying attention to either of us. They're doing their own thing, and my sister, she starts peeking in the trash can, right? Little baby starts, you know, going through the trash can. I look at my dad and I go, "Hey Dad, your life is in the trash can." He looks at me and he goes, he just bust out laughing and he's like, "What did you say? What?" I'm confused. And I go, "Your life is in the trash can." And then he's just like, "What?" And he's just dying laughing. And Mom starts dying laughing too. Man, I'm cracking myself up now, folks. I am cracking myself up. And so then I go, "Your life, she's in the trash can!" And he looks, Annabelle's just in the trash can, and he's like, "Oh, okay. I see. I tell y'all, I'm not really this much of a nutcase in real life, but now that I look back, I was such a nutcase when I was a kid, with all that I've just now rehashed. I hope you all enjoyed the video. Don't forget to click subscribe for more content. Another one of these should be coming very soon. If you laughed, good. You can click that subscribe button, become a Toiletarian, and have plenty more laughs like this in the future. And if you want to give me any constructive criticism for this one, go right ahead in the comments. I will be watching the comments and the likes and everything, and I will go by whatever constructive criticism y'all give me. Alright, I'll see you guys later. Keep it real. Your boy Toilet is out.